Discussing all the events of the FA Cup this weekend, including what's just happened at the Cardiff City Stadium. But didn't it? Second half performance from Man City didn't match the first. Is that fair?
No, they didn't really click into gear, did they? Second half efficiency was probably the key word. They got the job done, didn't they? Guardiola would be plenty happy enough, although we saw there at the end of the game he was particularly unhappy with some of the treatment that was dished out to his players and the lack of protection from the referee.
Yes. Do you think that's his main gripe? He's seen Sane go off. He's seen big clash at the end.
Yeah, I think so. I think he was concerned about his players because he knows what's ahead of him, really. And he's just expressed his view, really. I think he got short shrift from the referee a little
Lee
bit.
Mason, yeah.
But no, he'll be satisfied he's through. Like I say, job done. Difficult at times, or made it a little bit more difficult than it needed to be. But in the second half, Cardiff became Cardiff. You know, they put the ball forward, they harassed, they chased, created a few little melees in the box. They just didn't do that the first half.
Matt, what do you made of that?
More than comfortable, wasn't it? Pretty much as expected, as you say. We'll be looking at it, I'm sure, in a bit, but could have and should have been 3-0.
Yeah.
The two moments of real purpose for Cardiff really were the snapshot by Hoylett and a wonderful cross from Bennett, I think it was, who broke through on the left-hand side and just avoided Patterson. Other than that, totally in command, Man City, aren't they? And they're so good. They're so good, aren't they? And they just take it in turns to take centre stage, don't they? It's Bernardo Silva 1 minute, De Bruyne the next, Sané the next, Sterling turns up, and impressive stuff yet again.
He's been given a bit more of a chance now towards this part of the season.
Well, Silva's replaced Silva,
yes,
in a way. But you can see the depth and the quality that they've got, and it's literally one for one in positions. You know, one's in, one's out, and it doesn't alter the balance and it doesn't alter the way they go about playing. So they're obviously being coached and trained as a group, not just, you know, 15 players, 11 players. He has actually got a group, so they all understand exactly what's happening, what the manager wants, and they just replace each other when they need to, and that just shows the continuity and the understanding that these players have got of each other, and what's required of them to keep that momentum going forward.
I think you can see that clearly as well. I asked you, do you have any inside information about how Guardiola operates? And what you said to me was about repetition in match scenarios and situations. You can see that it's become second nature to them. The change in his development from last year to this, they're all.
Well, there's one thing for sure, that when you watch Manchester City now, they've all improved.
Yeah.
Yes, he's made additions to the group, which you would expect, but they've all improved. The ones that have been there before and the ones he's inherited, he's made them better individually and collectively. Now that's down to him, that's down to the coach and his way of doing things, and it's given them belief. It's given them more belief than they've had before. They feel invincible at the moment, and everything they're doing is pretty positive. There's no thought process in, well, you know, we need to worry about him, they need to worry about Man City now, the opposition, because they're coming up with the goods on a regular basis, and that's what he's laid in place. And they all look as though they're contributing, and they all look as though they're enjoying the game now.
Yeah. Well, if you can't enjoy playing in this,
well, no.
But then what you're saying is you take one player out and put somebody else in, they do exactly the same role. So
yeah, and his additions, you know, in the main have been defenders, but forward-thinking defenders, you know, and they may even be adding to that. They're not looking at the centre forwards or because he feels as though that's in place and he's got backup there. But he's added to the defence. If he adds another one in the boy that they're looking at, the French boy, then, you know, that says a lot. That says a lot about what he's trying to lay down, what he's putting in place, is strength and stability all over.
As we saw the animated Pep Guardiola at the end, largely, we suspect, the nature of the way he's treated, his players were treated. That's Joe Bennett to get his...
He's paid the price, and I think that's his frustration, because he could have lost a major player going into the back end of the season when he needs that quality. So he's expressed his views there. He's protecting his club and his players.
Yeah, that's for future reference down the line as well.
Yes.
To the referees. He said it was quite visible how he's... I mean, he intimates to the referee now, I think he turns round and suggests, the chopping of the tackle on the leg, we just missed it there.
That's right.
But that's a visual warning to other referees. Hey, this is what's going on, look after my players. That first tackle, by the way, was scandalous, because there was no need. One, if you miss time it, take him out, fair enough. But we took him out of the kneecap. That was horrendous.
And we didn't. After that tackle, we didn't see Sané in the second half. It was that bad. It took him out of the game.
Yeah, maybe for his own safety, or maybe as a result of at half-time,
He'll probably talk about it if he does the interview as to how it's left him. How it's left his player.
We've got him. We've got him now. So let's hear what Pep has to say for himself. So that is what he's complaining about, and that Leroy Sané will be out for some time. Joe Bennett getting only a yellow. He's got a fair point.
No, horrendous tackle. When you first saw it, you thought, OK, badly timed. He's taken him out. It was a threat at goal, but you saw the intent there.
It's halfway up his leg.
He could have just tripped him up quite easily, brought him down. Relieve the situation, but it's been nasty there.
Yeah, I agree totally. I mean, that is not something that you want to see in football. I mean, there was intent to make sure he wasn't going beyond where he was, but I mean, we see it in slow motion. We see it second time round. It's horrible, and it could have been really, really bad, really bad. If it's out for a couple of weeks, he's got away with one there, which is shocking that he's going to be out. But we can't have, fouls like that. That's deliberate.
The thing is, I think Guardiola's thinking, or he's stating there, in terms of protection, what can the referee do about that challenge in itself? But he could have sent him off.
Exactly.
And that would have prevented the challenge down the road on Diaz.
Yes.
There, and then you might have another injury situation. I think he's saying that the word has to be going out that you can't get away with challenges like that.
Yeah, there's no second chance. There should not be a second chance.
No, and when you see that, unfortunately, that one can't be reviewed. Yellow card's been given. He's made his decision. There's no going back on that one. OK, get the thoughts of Cardiff boss Neil.